You're in the middle of a normal conversation, the room is calm, comfortable, and then your dog walks over to your guest, pauses briefly, and goes straight to the most socially inappropriate place possible. The air shifts, you react instantly, you apologize. It feels like something just went wrong, but nothing went wrong. What happened in that moment wasn't disobedience, it wasn't dominance, and it wasn't poor training, it was efficient biological investigation. To understand it, you have to step out of human social rules and into sensory reality. Humans navigate the world visually. We recognize faces, clothing, expressions, posture. Dogs navigate chemically. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have roughly 6 million. But the difference isn't just numerical, it's neurological. The portion of a dog's brain devoted to scent analysis is proportionally dozens of times more developed than ours. So when a new person enters a room, you see a body. Your dog detects a biochemical signature, dynamic, informative, and certain areas of the human body carry more data than others. The groin region contains a high concentration of apocrine sweat glands. Unlike regular sweat glands that regulate temperature, these release compounds rich in pheromone-related chemical signals. Those signals communicate identity, sex age, hormonal state, stress chemistry, even subtle immune system markers. You cannot consciously detect most of this, your dog can. Approaching that area isn't random, it's strategic, in the most instinctive sense of the word. It's the fastest way to gather a full social profile in seconds. From a canine perspective, it's simply the most information-dense location available. This pattern didn't develop inside your living room. It predates domestication. Wolves and wild canids greet each other through scent investigation. Rear and glandular areas provide immediate insight into health, reproductive condition, and emotional state. The ritual is direct because clarity matters. Domestic dogs still carry that template. When meeting another dog, they follow it precisely. When meeting a human, they adapt it. Imperfectly to a body structured differently, the instinct remains. The social rules change. That's where the awkwardness begins, but the behavior goes deeper than identity alone. Research suggests dogs can detect cortisol variations, the hormone associated with stress. They respond to adrenaline shifts. They may even perceive metabolic changes linked to illness. There are documented cases of dogs identifying diabetic glucose drops and certain cancers through scent. This doesn't mean every intrusive sniff is medical detection. It means their nose is operating at a resolution we don't consciously understand. If someone in the room is anxious, recently exercised, pregnant, ill, or hormonally fluctuating, their scent profile shifts, the dog notices, immediately. Now here's where behavior and learning intersect. If a dog approaches, someone squeals, jumps back, raises their voice. The moment becomes stimulating. In behavioral terms, intense reactions reinforce repetition, not because the dog wants to embarrass you, but because strong responses create memorable outcomes, especially in social breeds wired for interaction. Over time, what began as instinctive investigation can become enthusiastic habit. The original motivation was information. The maintained behavior becomes reinforcement. Those are not the same thing. There's also variation between dogs, and that variation matters. A stable, well-socialized dog typically investigates briefly, gathers what it needs, and disengages. The motion is calm. Efficient. When a dog lingers excessively, returns repeatedly, or seems hyper-focused, it can reflect something else, uncertainty. Dogs lacking early social exposure often compensate by collecting more data. The prolonged sniff isn't boldness. It's reassurance-seeking. Scent reduces ambiguity, and ambiguity makes animals uneasy. There's one more layer most people miss. When your dog sniffs you after you've been away, the behavior often feels familiar, almost routine. That moment isn't just investigation, it's recalibration. Your scent slightly changes throughout the day. Environment, stress levels, diet, external contact. A quick assessment allows your dog to confirm continuity. You're still you, the bond is stable. In bonded mammals, scent familiarity reduces physiological arousal. It stabilizes the attachment system. Oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, rises during positive contact and recognition. So while the behavior appears socially clumsy, it can function as quiet reassurance, not just who are you, but everything is still aligned. So how should you respond? Correction without understanding tends to create confusion. From your dog's perspective, they performed a standard greeting protocol. Instead of reacting sharply, restructure the ritual. Teach a sit before greeting. Reinforce eye contact. Offer a hand target as an alternative investigation point. You're not suppressing instinct, you're redirecting sequence. Over time, the greeting evolves, still informed by scent, but framed within human boundaries. Structure replaces chaos. Information gathering remains intact. It's easy to interpret this behavior through embarrassment, but dogs don't experience embarrassment. they experience data. Where you see a breach of etiquette, they see an efficient sensory shortcut. Where you feel exposed, they're simply orienting themselves in the most biologically logical way available. Your dog isn't trying to test you, he's trying to understand his environment. Quickly, accurately, instinctively, and once that process is complete, he usually settles. Because uncertainty has been reduced, the next time it happens, notice the duration. Is it brief and calm, or prolonged and urgent? The difference tells you more about your dog's internal state than the sniff itself ever could. In a species built on scent-based intelligence, this isn't misbehavior, it's translation. The only question is whether we choose to understand the language. I'm curious, does your dog greet everyone this way, or only specific people? Patterns always reveal something.